Going live. You are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chuck the Contractor show. Starring Chuck the Contractor. Woo! Is there an applause button?
An applause button?
Yeah, shouldn't there be?
That would be weird. That last one we did has 186 views now.
Thank you. I'm glad you all could make it for this momentous YouTube Live.
That's crazy. Will it just keep going on forever?
There's all sorts of these things. You got a drum roll?
Is that inside of YouTube?
It's in Riverside.
Wow, that's really fast. Is that inside? There's only like a 4-second delay.
Oh yeah, there's a setting for lower latency. Who would have thought?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we're live. We have one viewer, which was probably just you on your phone.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I thought we could start it early, and that way people could kind of trickle in before it actually begins.
Absolutely.
That way we're not sitting there at 6, just like twiddling our thumbs.
Yep. Hey, Jimmy. Is that the guy you did all those videos with?
Who?
Do you have the chat up?
Yeah, Jimmy. What's up, Jimmy? We're going to go fishing here in like a week or 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
He's coming to Coeur d'Alene. You might actually be here. When are you coming here, Roman?
First week of September.
Oh, I don't think he'll be here. I think he's
Sweet.
Next week?
Oh, we'll be up there for a couple. Or are you saying it'd be sooner than that?
Oh, no, yeah. He'll be here September 8th. Fishing
Cool.
party.
Nice. Crack a cold one with the boys.
Yeah. Are you gonna put together some kind of local event again? I'd be down.
For your stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could pack out the big projector room probably.
Whoa, I don't know if we need to get that fancy.
That'd be pretty cool. We got some people trickling in. Ooh, we got 5 people watching.
What?
Let's jump in then. Should we answer some of these YouTube comments to warm up the stage?
Yeah, sure. Should I share my screen or what?
It's up to you. If it's share worthy. You talking just for these YouTube comments?
Well, I have one pulled up here, yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, sure, if you want.
All right, let's see. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so all 5 people who are watching, if you have any questions, post them up in the chat. Anything you want me to talk about, just let me know. We're going to start with a couple YouTube comments. So let's see. Nickel Plated Prod says, I'm a contractor and I've owned a remodeling business for the last 8 years. And the past 3 or 4 years, we've done really well. And he noticed that it's coming from word of mouth. He said, I have a page on Google and a Facebook page, and I don't have a website. Somehow we've stayed busy these last few years through word of mouth, but it's slowing down now. And he's looking into advertising and other options. That's a pretty common thing that I hear a lot these days, is because we just came out of like the COVID years and everything, construction and housing, got super busy during COVID. There was 0 interest rates, so everyone's buying houses, refinancing or like remortgaging their house, coming up with a ton of money. They're all staying at home, so there was a lot of remodels going on, and things got really nice for a lot of construction companies, and it made it seem really easy. What do they say? Like everyone feels like they're a genius in a bull market, and that's kind of how it was. Like everyone was like, "Oh wow, everything I'm doing is working. This is great." But in the last, I think 12 to 18 months, we've started to come back down to normal, where like the people I know who've been in business a long time, they're saying like, yep, things are going, like we're having a normal slow summer now. Things are going back to normal. And so it's just becoming more competitive. And if you're not doing things right, then it's going to show now. So that's a pretty common thing. And definitely like getting a website built, getting reviews on Google, that will help you compete. And at the end of the day, you'll have to do whatever marketing techniques or strategies that you need to in order to get the volume you need. There's a lot of my clients and people I know who get all the volume they need just from being on Google Maps, having reviews, having a website. Other ones need to add on advertising on top of that. And you should the whole time always be trying to spur on more word of mouth, keeping in touch with past clients, getting repeat business that way, asking for referrals on a regular basis, of course, getting those reviews every opportunity you can. Just do all those things on a consistent basis and you'll probably be okay. But at the end of the day, it's a competition between you and the other companies in your area. You're competing for a finite supply of customers. So now that the COVID frenzy is over, the amount of customers is less and less. And so you're going to have to work a little bit harder to get them. So that's that. What other comments you got, Roman? Looks like it's about 6 o'clock. So this is
there was a funny one, another one about door knocking. Everyone seems to think that it's like this, like you're risking your life to go door knocking and all this stuff. And people have said, "Oh, I live in Atlanta. You'd never want to try that here." And I don't know, maybe that's true for some neighborhoods, but I don't know. This guy said, risking your life in today's crime neighborhood. Watch individuals armed with guns and cops on their back, especially when no soliciting is prominently. It's just a big run-on sentence, but basically just saying that.
Well, there's definitely a lot
of too risky.
There's probably a lot of neighborhoods I wouldn't go knocking. We were knocking in Spokane, Washington last year, and we're going to be doing it again soon. And there were definitely some neighborhoods that were a little sketch. And
yeah.
Those particular houses were on our list to knock. But, if you're going, there's two types of door knocking. There's one where you're targeted, which houses you're going to, you're probably driving in between, you're like seeking out these homes. And then there's like door to door, which is you're just like canvassing a whole neighborhood. And so if you're going door to door, should probably pick nicer neighborhoods if you can.
Yeah, totally.
And
yeah, the houses we were looking for, they weren't always in the primest neighborhoods, but that was on purpose. Those were the deals.
Yeah.
But imagine if you're doing remodeling or I don't know. But yeah, you'd probably want to go after places where they're owning their home, where they've got the disposable income. You're not knocking
strategic about it. Yeah. And I talk to people sometimes who are like starting a new business in a market that is either a rough market or it's super, super competitive, like the middle of the Bay Area, California. LA is like one of the most competitive areas. And I always ask people, like, how committed are you to living in this area? Because if you're trying to start a business from scratch, there's like 2/3 of the United States that it's really, really easy to start a business and market it and get a ton of customers because there's really low competition. You're not going to live in a major city, most likely. But if you're really dead set on starting a business and you're open to moving, then there's a lot of places that you could go where you could start a business and in 1 year be where it would, in the same place it would take you 10 years to get to in a competitive market. So if you don't like your neighborhood, if it's not worth door knocking, maybe seek out better neighborhoods.
Yeah. And that's just a trend in general, as people are there was a big trend towards the cities. And I feel like since 2020, it's been opposite. People want to all live on homesteads now and, live in like rural Tennessee and all this stuff. But yeah, it's super true. You can take over like any town or city or is it a town? under 100K population, super easy to take over. Because like here in Chico, for example, someone posted on one of the local Facebook groups, and it said, "I detail cars, and I am available." And that was basically the whole post. And there were no pictures, like no phone number, no website, nothing, no social proof. And I saw that post, and I was like, is this guy like joking? Like, he really thinks he's going to get business from this? I've lived my whole life in major cities, so this was I was like, this guy isn't going to get any business from this. He had like probably 40 or 50 comments of like, when are you available? What's your number? How do I get a hold of you? We've been looking for a detailer. I was like, dang, he's going to clean up.
What did he
there must be just
like his own Facebook page or whatever? Or
it was in like one of the local community groups.
Okay. Well, that's a great tip for someone who's hard up for work. Like,
totally.
make some posts, community groups, your own Facebook. You know, the very first step of any kind of marketing is awareness. Like, if people aren't aware of who you are and what you do, then there's no way that they could ever hire you. So it can be as simple as just letting people know what you do. And for that guy, apparently it was working.
Yeah. And what's funny too is I bet that there are 4 or 5 other detailers in town who are complaining that they can't find enough business.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
What other comments we got? We got any other questions?
Oh, door knocking guy, by the way, at the end, he did say, stay safe.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely stay safe.
Yeah.
James is saying that they've been running Facebook awareness campaigns and they've been getting a lot of views. Have you gotten any jobs from it? You guys, if you have any questions or you want me to take a look at your stuff, go ahead and post it in the chat section and I'll take a look live right now.
Yeah, so this is similar to that comment you just read, but I saw on Reddit in the general contractor subreddit a couple weeks ago, it was like a really similar post. It was like, business is 5 years old, always had steady clients, never had trouble finding jobs. Randomly, these last couple months, nobody's reaching out.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. I've been hearing it for more than 5 years. The best time to market your business is when things are good, because then they stay good. Most things take time, and it's not just like, ads take time to work, or marketers will tell you, SEO takes time to work, but like, it takes any person or company time to figure out how to make things work for them. Like, if Google ads didn't work, then they wouldn't be selling billions and trillions of dollars worth of ads, but they are, because it works. And the people that it works for have spent enough time figuring out how to make it work for them. So I hear a lot of people saying like, oh, Google ads doesn't work. We tried it. We put $500 in and got nothing. But like, there's an education piece. Like, there's a learning curve. You got to figure out how to make it work.
Totally. Yeah, this guy also said there's a local Facebook group that people were using to find contractors, but it seems like the only people posting now are just the contractors looking for work. I'm not sure what's going on, but it seems like all the clients just disappeared. He also said,
noticed, like, we aggregate, or like, we have like a stream of all the leads that come from our clients' websites so we can monitor them. There was definitely like 12 to 18 months ago, like, we started seeing this trend of contractors hitting each other up more and more. That kind of died down a little bit. Maybe it's because it's summer now and it's the busy season, but it definitely, like, it was super noticeable. And it happens a lot through ads too, which makes ads less profitable.
True. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I guess what would you suggest for people finding themselves in those shoes today?
Subscribe to my channel and watch my videos, because that's like all I talk about.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, door to door is like a hot topic. I was talking to this guy earlier who he wants to start a company in a pretty competitive area. And when we looked on Google, the competitors had like 1,000 reviews and tons of people were running ads for it. And so for him as a brand new company to go in and try to start running ads, like he's going head to head with companies with 1,000 reviews or more and who have been figuring out how to make the ads work for them for a long time. And so he would have been at a huge disadvantage. And he needs a certain amount of volume to meet his goals. And we used like Google Ads Keyword Planner to get an idea of how much volume there was for search anyway. And there was 70 people a month in that area searching for it. And he needs like 30 customers a month. So there's no way that Google Ads would ever get him close. Like with 70 searches, he would be lucky to get a couple customers from Google Ads because there's so much competition. So the only real solution for him is going door to door. And I recommend that for anyone who's in a brand new business, especially if you're in the idea phase. And this guy is in the idea phase. He's not sure if he wants to do it. And so my biggest, my piece of advice for him with the most conviction is go have 100 conversations, go knock however many doors it takes to talk to 100 people and practice, giving your pitch and see if anybody is even interested. Because if you go talk to 100 people face to face and you can't sell any of them whatever you're selling, then there's no marketing or website or leads that are ever going to work for you. Because if you can't sell it face to face, you can't sell it any other way. And I give that advice a lot. And a lot of people don't want to do it. They're like, I don't want to go door to door. I don't want to go talk to people. I'd rather just, put my credit card in Google Ads and do that. But you're virtually guaranteed to waste a bunch of money doing it. And if you're not having these conversations, you're not going to get any better at selling or presenting whatever it is you have. And also when you talk to your potential customers, you end up finding out a lot of opportunities that you didn't even know existed. And you'll never be able to come up with these things on your own. You got to talk to people, find out what they want, and then give them what they want. That's how you make money in any business, especially like a new one. So yeah, we ended up, figuring that door to door is the best way. And with that idea in mind, we came up with all sorts of angles and offers that seem like they would do really well. And again, you can't know for sure until you test them, but like, hey, I'll give you a free inspection and clean this thing for free as long as you give me a good Google review. That's a pretty good offer. And if you can go out and get a couple of those a day and get a couple Google reviews a day, have a couple conversations, those leads would cost you at least $100 on Google Ads. So if you're getting 3 a day, that's worth $300. That's pretty good when you're at the beginning of a business and you don't have a ton of resources, but you have time. So
Yep. Yeah. I mean, door knocking is beautiful because you can inject yourself into someone's buying process before they're even shopping for something. Like, how many people think about doing that renovation for like 12 months before they call anybody about it? That's a pretty big window for you to show up, knock their door, introduce yourself, say, hi, I'm new to the neighborhood or whatever it is. Here's what I do. And then they go, oh, I've been thinking about getting my kitchen redone. That's so funny that you showed up. As if it's like this serendipitous thing, but they've been thinking about it for like 8 months.
Yeah, they really are. And the time for them to act on that will be a short window.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're hitting enough houses or enough people, eventually you'll find some that are in the right spot and they'll say stuff like that. They'll be like, oh, wow, it's so cool that you showed up because I just convinced my husband to remodel our kitchen.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got Mike's moving and Bozeman wants me to take a look at his stuff. So I'm going to share my screen and take a look. If anybody else wants me to check out your stuff on right here and give you some feedback, post it up in the chat.
Right on.
Let's see.
Yeah, and if you make a friend on the door like that, then they're not even going to shop around.
Oh,
because if they already have trust with one person, like the amount of time and risk they have to put in to go and call, 5 to 10 other contractors. And yeah, so make a good
So
impression then easy.
we got Mike's Moving in Bozeman. I used to live in Big Sky, so it's right outside of Bozeman. I love that area. So I typed in Mike's Moving Company. I don't think you said company, but I typed it in, and this is you. First thing, man, you got to get some reviews. I'm sure you know that. It's probably a new listing. Doesn't look like you have a website, so that would be one of your next steps. This is probably you on Yelp for reviews, so you have done some jobs. And if you have any specific questions you want me to answer, go ahead. You don't have a whole lot for me to look at. I can take a look at the market though. So let's just take a closer look at this. I'm guessing you do okay. So junk removal, you probably load trucks and move stuff across town. In-state moving. Okay, so let's just do moving company in Bozeman and see who you're competing against. So they are showing some local service ads. So that can be an option for you, but with 0 reviews, it might actually be better to have 0 reviews than like 1 review. Because 0, the listing looks pretty clean. It doesn't say you have 0 reviews. It just doesn't show anything. But as soon as you get 1 or 2 reviews, you're going to be getting killed on local service ads because these guys have a lot more than you. There are quite a few moving companies on local service ads. You got a couple people running regular Google ads here. This looks like a national company, Coastal Moving Services. There's no coast in Bozeman. Both of these look like kind of lead gen sites. Get Movers, definitely a lead gen site. Below that, we've got Google Maps. So these are like your organic competitors. And you do have some strong competition. You've got 400, 100, 100 reviews. Let's see what else we got here. 45, 100, 30, 20. So you're going to want to be you're going to want to get to 50 reviews as soon as you can. Anybody that will say nice things about you, you're honest, reliable, do good work, whatever, ask them to leave reviews. If you work with any other companies that you like to work with, go leave them a good review and then ask them to return the favor. But at this point in time, you got to do whatever you can to get up to 50 because that seems to be about the threshold where you'll be, competing in your market. You won't be anywhere close to these guys, but at least you'll be above like half of them. And then a website will help just build relevance and trust with Google. Google looks to your website to see who you are. And your competition has websites. I'm guessing they're okay. They're decent. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty normal looking website. It's clean. So you want something like this for sure. And link it to your Google listing like this. Always show your reviews up here. That's how you properly link a website to a Google listing. Someone was asking about that in the comments earlier. And yeah, the number one thing is get reviews. Make your customers happy, get reviews, and you'll make some headway there. You said that you're doing Yelp. I saw you on Yelp for reviews. That could be a good source. It just depends on how many people are using Yelp. Like I would say like 19 out of 20 people that I talk to who use Yelp don't get any good results from it. But that 20th person gets hundreds of leads from Yelp. So every once in a while, it just works phenomenally well. And I don't see a pattern at this point in time. So I think it's worth trying. One thing I don't like about Yelp is if you get a customer like from Google or something, or someone sees you here and they call you and Yelp can't verify that they came through Yelp, then they won't show their review, even if they leave one. So you can have 50 reviews, but if they didn't come from Yelp, Yelp will never show them, which is kind of unfortunate. Let's see who else has some questions. Hey, you're welcome, man. Let's see, I had great reviews with Home Advisor, but stopped using them, lost the reviews. That's you know, that happens a lot. People spend a lot of time on these platforms like Yelp and Home Advisor. They get a ton of reviews. The service goes downhill. They end up canceling, and then those reviews become worthless. That's why I always suggest getting reviews on Google. Google is another platform. They do have somewhat of a monopoly on search, but at least they're like the base platform, and you're not paying to have a Google listing. And so, of all the options of places to get reviews, Google's by far the best. I don't love that that's the situation, but that's just the way it is. Like, Google's got a monopoly on search. So if you want to be found, everyone's searching on Google. And when you get leads from Yelp or Home Advisor, a lot of those just come through Google anyway. So you can just skip the middleman and go and be straight on Google. But at the end of the day, a lot of companies end up having to do a lot of these things. There's usually not one solution that's going to fix all of your problems. You're going to have to diversify and do as many things as you can, figure out what works, double down on what works. Let's see, key screening. What is that? Check out my business and see what you think. I've been following you the past month. Great advice. I appreciate you. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Let's share my screen and take a look. Roman, if I mess up my tabs again, let me know.
I will.
Okay, key screening. What does your logo say?
I think the domains, I think it's key-screening.com.
Okay. Let's see if I can Google it.
That looks like the same logo as the one in his YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's it. Key screening premium pool enclosure. Key screening. What does that mean? Cape Coral, Florida. We got background checks. That's not it.
Right. Yeah, it's the first one.
Quality is our priority. So let's see. First piece of feedback. Unless I'm not familiar with what key screening is, but you're a pool cover company, right? Ah, okay. That's what it is. It's like screened in enclosures. So I would make it, one thing I would change right off the bat is say what you do, where you do it, right here on the top of your homepage. Because that's the first thing people are looking for when they land on a website. Their brain is asking, am I in the right place? And there's nothing here that's giving me a clue of like what you do and where you do it. So that's some feedback. You got a whole bunch of reviews. Let's see, Cape Coral. This is a pretty niche thing. Pool enclosure, Cape Coral, Florida. Okay, so you got a couple people running ads. Got a sponsored up there. You have more reviews than all these guys, but you're not showing up. Okay, there you are right here. So you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're 8 down. Seems like you should be higher. You have more reviews than most of these guys. So I'm going to go to my other tab really quick and start a scan. And I'll show you in a second. I just can't show everybody all these scans. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see how well you rank in your area for what you do. What do they call you? Just a contractor? Patio enclosure supplier, screen repair. Patio enclosure might be a better category for you to choose. At least have that as an option, because contractor is pretty general. That could be anything. Bear with me a second. I'm doing something on my other screen here. All right, I found you. All right, so this is a tool that lets me scan your area. And what this is each one of these dots represents the location that the search is being done from. And so what it shows me eventually is how well you show up from each one of these locations. And typically the further you get away from your location, the worse you'll rank. These are the like screen repair service. We could do that. Let's do pool enclosure, since that's what you do. What other keywords would I type in? I don't look at a lot of these kinds of companies. So if you have any like suggestions, we can run these two scans though. And then we'll go back here. You have 177 reviews. You're crushing everybody on the number of reviews you have. So there's one that's got more than you. I don't know if they're a supplier or an actual installer. Screen enclosures.
Great reviews too. I don't know if you guys are asking, but like every review almost has photos, which is awesome.
Nice. Yeah, are you guys asking for reviews or people just love you so much? Okay, so we got pool enclosure. Let's do screen enclosure. Maybe you show up better for that. A lot of people running ads. You're still not in the top 3 for me anyway. I'm in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, so I'm on the other side of the country. So that doesn't necessarily mean a ton. All right, so here's one scan for screen repair service, not showing up a whole lot. What these represent, you'll see numbers from 1 to 20. 1, 2, and 3 ranks 1, 2, and 3. Those are the ones that show up on the first page of Google. So when I did that initial search, rank 1, 2, and 3 is right here. If you're 4 or higher, then you're really not getting seen by anybody. So you really want to be in the top 3. And we'll wait for these other keywords. Here's pool enclosure. Not ranking well for that either. And you can see like how further away you're ranking better than closer. Usually that's just level of competition. So if there must be a little bit lower competition when you get up into this area as compared to right here. All right, and then here's the last scan. This one was for what? Screen enclosure. So still not ranking very well. There must be something up, because you should be ranking better. It could be related to your website. So like this is usually called an H1 tag. It's a technical term, but like the big text on the front of your page, you want that to say what you do and where you do it. And that's a really clear signal to Google of like, hey, this is where we're at. This is what we do. And little simple things like that can make an impact on how well you rank in your area. So that's a big thing. The design on your website, it looks clean. I like the colors. It's brand colors. Lots of good reviews. That's cool. You got a YouTube video. That's a client testimonial. That's cool. I like how you have the step-by-steps. That's good. So it's just like there's some kind of technical thing that's holding you back from ranking, which is, you might think it's a bad thing, but I usually look at these things as good things, because it means when you fix whatever it is that's causing you to not rank very well, then you're going to just see a massive increase in business. That's awesome that you've got a picture of you and your family. I'm guessing that's you and your family. I would definitely suggest doing more pictures of of you and your crew and stuff like this on your homepage, just all over your website. More pictures of the people, show the faces. That's always a good idea. If you want to reach out to me, I'd be happy to look closer at this and see if we could help you figure out, why you aren't ranking better. But you should definitely be ranking a lot better on this map. Typically, we'll see here. I'll show you an example of what it should look like. Where is it?
James says, "Gotta run. See you in a couple weeks."
Thanks for popping in, James. Looking forward to our fishing trip. Okay, so this chart here is what it should look like. So you'll have some kind of area around you where you rank really well, and then the further away you get, the worse you'll rank. And that's just how Google Maps works. It's based off of proximity first. So the closer someone is, the more likely they are to see you. And if your stuff is set up correctly, especially when you have more reviews than everyone else, you should see a bubble around your location like that. So not having any greens is a kind of a red flag. I would definitely want to take a closer look at that. Okay, let's see. We got another person. Smiley Electric Inc. in Beaverton. Hey man, I used to work in Beaverton. That's where I got my start in business. Smiley Electric, Beaverton. All right. That must be you there, eh? SmileyElectric.net. Is that you, Josh? So you got 18 reviews. Website looks pretty cool. I don't like how big the menu is when I scroll. It's taking up a lot of my screen. Cool, you got pictures of the people. That's awesome. I wouldn't use too many stock photos. Google knows what stock photos and videos are, and they could trust you less if you use that kind of stuff. Let's see, you got 18 reviews. Let's look at your competition. So electrician, Beaverton, Oregon. So we've got 2 companies showing up in the local service ads, 2,000 reviews, 89 reviews. And then in the regular Google search, 1.5K views, 162, 700, 200. So you're getting crushed on reviews. Number of reviews. Almost everyone has hundreds. So it's very competitive. Let's see. Are you showing up here at all? Smiley. Not finding you on this page. So I'm not finding you anywhere on here, which isn't a good sign. There's a ton of electricians in your area. Typically when it comes to like electrician stuff, I mean, a lot of your customers are probably other contractors. I don't know what kind of electrical stuff you do, but there's only so many things that homeowners will hire you for as opposed to, where else you work. So Google's not the only way to get jobs. A lot of times if you're doing B2B, like you're working with other contractors, you should have a list of all the other contractors in your area that could hire you and be like following up with them on like a monthly basis. If you need work bad, if I needed work bad, I'd be calling every general contractor in my area every single month. And even if they told me no, I would keep calling unless they told me to stop calling. But eventually you'll talk to someone who does need an electrician, and so you want to be there at the right time. But I'm not seeing you anywhere when I do just a regular search. And it was also weird when I searched for your company that usually your Google listing would show up here on the right, but it showed up down here like a normal business, and they're showing me other options. So that kind of makes me believe that Google doesn't quite trust you. I don't know if you're like a brand new website or anything like that, but definitely whatever technical SEO improvements that can be made, you should expect to see your listing show up here on the right. So I hope that's helpful. Feel free to reach out to me if you want some more in-depth feedback, but that's what I got for you right now. Key screening. Can I watch this video again tomorrow? Yeah, it'll be on my channel, so you can watch it whenever. All right, I think that's we got another one here. Dimensional Contractors LLC. Been following you for maybe a year. I run ads on Facebook, not as many leads as I need for my business. We do windows, doors, siding. Okay. Let's see if we can find you. Cross, Wisconsin. Dimensional Contractors LLC. There you are, La Crosse. All right, you got 13 reviews. It calls you a general contractor. Just take a look at your website. I would probably capitalize LLC all the way, even if that is technically correct. It looks kind of weird. And again, I'm going to call out little details. I just kind of call out whatever I see. So a perfect fit for your home. So same advice I gave to key screening. This first thing that people see should say what you do and where you do it. If I land on your website, make sure that I can confirm I'm in the right place, because if I can't do that, I'm likely to leave. When people are on their computers and on the internet, their IQ drops 100 points. So you got to just spell it out, make it super easy and impossible for someone to mistake what's going on. Pictures of you, of your staff, should be right here. We say request the best. People don't want the best chair, they want the best contractor. So show your face, be smiling if you want, or you can be looking tough. Sometimes that works, but just show your face. It goes a long ways for people to trust you and to know who they're going to be dealing with if they decide to reach out. Window installation. I'm guessing you sell the windows, so Facebook could be a good thing if you're able to offer better prices than your competitors. I would ask, like, how many jobs do you need? How many leads do you need to reach your goals? Because like the number would depend on what kind of options I would look into. Your about section is this section, so again, show your face. Looks like you got a one-page website, so it's not a lot of content on there. You do mention your services, so that's good. Typically, we'll have a page for each type of customer. So if someone comes to us looking for Windows, we will give them the rundown on Windows. What's the, how do you explain it when someone calls you looking for Windows? What do you do? Do you come measure them? What's the process? How long does it take to order them? What are the price ranges? What does installation look like? All that kind of information goes on the Windows page, and siding would be a completely different ballgame. And so if someone's looking for siding but not Windows, they're going to have different concerns, or they're going to be looking for different information. So we'll typically have a service page for each type of customer, and then that will also help you be more relevant on Google, because Google will see that you are more relevant for each of those type of searches. Someone might search for siding, someone might search for window replacement. You want to give Google a lot to chew on, if that makes sense. Lacrosse County. Okay, La Crosse is a city. You've got 50,000 people. That's like my favorite size city. That's about how big Coeur d'Alene is. It's small enough that it's typically not super competitive, but it's big enough that there's plenty of customers. So if we do, let's say, home window replacement, La Crosse, Wisconsin. Let's just see who shows up. Hey, it's you. You're right there. You got 13 reviews. You're next to Mad City Windows with 2,600 reviews. So yes, they're winning on reviews. You've got a better rating. Some people will look at this and think, oh, well, they're probably more expensive. I'm going to call these guys. So it could work out to your advantage. Of course, you've got Anderson. They're the biggest window company. Powell and Sons, they sell their leads to Home Advisor, Angie's List, and those types. So if you're buying leads from them, some of them are coming from these Powell and Sons ads. And Clear Choice, I don't know if these guys are probably another like national type company or a franchise. Window World, the board. So you do have your competitors have hundreds of reviews. So to compete on Google Organic or Google Maps, you're definitely going to want to keep getting reviews. That's a franchise. Yeah, so I have a client who sells windows, replacement windows for home, and he does really, really well on Facebook. And he sources his windows locally. He's able to offer prices that are sometimes half as much as his competitors. So that those offers work really well on Facebook, and they just get him the conversation. And then he's able to go in and kind of tear apart what the other window salesmen say and present his offer as like, look, it's the same quality of windows, but they are way cheaper. You'd be crazy not to take this deal. And it works really, really well for him. So there's definitely opportunity and angles you can take as a smaller contractor when you're competing with these big companies. And you have to be strategic like that because you're dealing with companies with hundreds of reviews. You're going head to head with them with 13. You have to find an angle and find something that works well for you. Also, when you give really good service and you are able to offer way better prices than everyone else, you tend to get a lot of referrals. So one smart thing that some contractors do is they won't just give their business card or put a fridge magnet on the fridge or something like that. They'll actually like tell their customer to pull out their phone and take a picture of their business card or something like that. And that way that person has a picture of their phone number and their name and everything on their phone. Everybody has their phone all the time. And that way, if the chance for a referral comes up, that person can say, oh, you know what? I have this number. Let me find it. I'll just send you the picture. And it makes it easier for people to give you referrals. So that's something I recommend for pretty much everybody, every contractor, every local service business. Have people be taking pictures of your phone number, and that way they have it. So don't just leave your business card or something like that. So I hope that's helpful. Again, feel free to reach out to me if you want some more, if you want to go more into depth on that. But from what I see, that's kind of what you're looking at. All right. Looks like
Very nice.
We are out of requests. So that's cool. I think we could call it there.
Yeah, last call. If anyone is, just jumping in. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing these regularly. So, if you're getting emails from us, feel free to like reach out to us ahead of time and ask us questions or submit something for us to review. That'll give us a chance to maybe ask you a couple questions ahead of time and make sure that we're looking at the right things or that we're answering the questions you want us to answer.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you everybody who submitted something. It's fun to look over these things, and I hope that the feedback I give you is helpful. Cool, Roman. I think that's all we got.
Cool. Nice job. And thanks to everyone for participating.
Awesome. Have a good night, everyone.
Cool.
Thanks, Roman.
See you guys.
See ya.